Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to kind of be a part two to my last video. Side note, Lily's over here ripping up a paper towel and she keeps saying tiny or big based on the size of the piece she rips up. So if you hear her in the background, she's over there content with a paper towel. But I think today's video is going to be a part two to my last video. If you guys watched my last video, you would know I started to dabble in some spring cleaning, and then unfortunately Lily came down with the stomach bug, which she is feeling much better. Thankfully, it was a pretty quick turnaround from the physical stomach bug. However, she does have a runny nose now and does still seem a little bit under the weather. I don't know if it's related or her immune system is just weak and she got a cold a few days after being sick, but she is feeling better. And although it is no longer feeling like spring outside, the temperature has dropped and today is actually super like foggy, windy, just disgusting out. I do still want to finish up the spring cleaning that I started in my last video, and in that video I mentioned how I do like to break up one larger task into smaller, more reasonable tasks just for my mental sake. If something is or seems to be too big of a task, I am the type of person who will plan to do it in advance and then kind of ruminate on it and give myself anxiety about it, and then I will actually push it off and never tackle it. So I found for my own mental health, breaking up bigger tasks into smaller tasks that are more manageable, and even if it takes me a few more days to complete it, it just helps me get through it. And I have applied this same logic to multiple areas of my life. With the walking that I started in my last video, I did not want to set like a strict schedule for myself where I felt like I had to walk every day for an hour a day, or I wasn't going to feel good about it or feel like I'm putting in the work. So I did break it up and set some more like smaller, accessible goals for me. I do this with reading. If I don't really feel like reading in a day, I try and do at least 50 pages. Obviously, if I'm in the mood and in the groove and the book is really good, I will read more, but I do try and read at least 50 pages a day, which for me is about an hour of reading, and I do break it up usually during her nap and then before I go to bed at night, so it seems more accessible and easy. And another area that I've applied this to is actually back when I used to do therapy. Since the majority of my therapy was done postpartum, for me, the thought of having to get ready, get in the car, first of all, find a sitter for my newborn or small infant twins, then get ready, then get in the car to go sit in an office for an hour and speak to somebody about how I was feeling, gave me even more anxiety than the anxiety that I probably would be discussing with the therapist, and just added to my mental turmoil. So when I was postpartum and started to seek therapy, online therapy actually made it so much more easy and less of a scary task, because I was able to shoot a message over to my therapist at my convenience in the comfort of my own home. I was able to schedule phone calls or video calls during their naps or times that were just more convenient if Harris was home from work during the day. So instead of it being this all or nothing where I had to kind of get myself ready and perform for the therapist and go to their office and sit there and carve out that time of my day, which kind of made it more of an inconvenience, it became a lot more convenient when I was able to just make it more accessible to me. And that's why I loved doing online therapy when I was seeking therapy for my postpartum. And today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and BetterHelp is one of those online therapy services that does make therapy a lot more convenient and accessible to the everyday user, someone who works a 9-to-5, someone who's a stay-at-home mom, someone who doesn't have a lot of time in the day to do that carving out of like a full hour session of therapy, the driving there, the sitting in the office, all that kind of stuff. You're able to go over to their website, fill out a questionnaire, get matched with the therapist, and then you're able to speak with that therapist in a way that is more convenient for you, whether that's through messaging them in between your workday or in between feeding and running after your kids, scheduling a phone or video call during your little one's nap time when the house is nice and quiet, or waiting until your partner gets home in the afternoon. It just makes it so much more accessible. So today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and as always when I work with BetterHelp, I will put a link in the description box down below that if you click that link and you sign up through that link, you will actually get 10% off your first months of therapy with BetterHelp. I will put the link up here on my screen, but it is always in the description box. But all that's to say that if you are setting a goal for yourself, or you have a task to do in your home, it doesn't have to be this crazy daunting task if you break it up into smaller, meaningful moments. And even if it takes you a little bit longer to accomplish it, you can definitely do it. And that is what I apply to my life and how I function. So with that being said, I do have to finish. I set 3 goals for myself last week and I only got to 2 of them. So this week I do need to go through that big, massive mound of sweaters in my room. I want to take some of them to storage, the ones that I know I'm probably not going to be able to transition into summer wear, and just get that out of my space to make that area a little bit cleaner. But I'm actually not going to start that today. Today is Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, and tomorrow's actually St. Patrick's Day, and we started last year doing where the leprechaun comes to your house and will play little like tricks on you. I actually vlogged that and I will link that video up here. It was so impromptu last year because I wasn't planning on doing it, and then Jack heard of it by someone in his class and I had to rush out and go find green food coloring and chocolate coins to play some impromptu pranks on them. But I did plan ahead this year and I actually brought rainbow streamers and I want to put them across the boys' door for when they wake up. And then I did get actual St. Patrick's Day chocolate coins and I want to hide them like in their shoes and throughout the house. So today during Lily's nap, I want to measure out all the streamers and like tape them together at the top. So all I have to do is just put it up on the door frame when they go to bed tonight. So that's my task for today. Tomorrow I will finish tackling the sweaters. What's wrong, baby? Oh, her nose is running. She wants me to wipe her nose. So today's task is going to be setting up for the St. Patrick's Day pranks. Tomorrow's task will be finishing the sweaters. I know, I'm going to get you a tissue. And then, where's your little bird cloth? Better? There you go. And then there was something else. I have like a few small errands to run tomorrow, so I will vlog today and tomorrow and hopefully wrap up the spring cleaning that I started last week. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. With that being said, I still need to finish feeding her breakfast. I need to get her dressed for the day, and I'm probably not going to start my little St. Patrick's Day prank prep until she naps. I made myself some chicken salad from leftover rotisserie chicken. So I made a little sandwich. I'm getting ready to watch some Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And then when I'm done eating, I'm going to get started on my little St. Patrick's Day pranks. So these are the rainbow like crepe streamers that I picked up. And my plan is to have them cover their doorway. So I'm going to actually just measure them now and then tape across the top with some packing tape, like 2 pieces so that they're all together. And then just like fold it up and put it in here. And then tonight all I have to do is stick it to the door. I think I might do this door and then the bathroom door because I am going to do the toilets with green dye. I think just this toilet because this is the one the boys use in the morning. And then I'm actually going to also use this rainbow crepe and I'm going to wrap up their shoes, and then inside their shoes I'm going to hide some chocolate coins, and then I'm also going to wrap around their iPads, and inside that wrapping hide some more chocolate coins, so they have to like rip it open and then they find the chocolate coins. I got these ones. They were the first thing that came up when I searched St. Patrick's Day chocolate coins, but I will have this stuff linked down below. But if you're going to buy these, just know that they're not nut free. It says that they're, I guess, made in a facility that has peanuts, pistachios, hazelnuts, gluten, all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. I did see some people like in the reviews of them note that, but my kids they're not allergic to any of that, so that doesn't matter. So these are the things that I got. And then like I said, I already have the green dye that I'm going to put in the toilets. So I think this year I'm a little bit more prepared for the St. Patrick's Day pranks. This was never a thing when I was a kid. I think this is a recent thing, but I want to keep up on it since last year the boys talked about it and we've been talking about it over the last 2 days. So I'm going to eat, watch some TV, and then at least get the door ones measured out. The actual wrapping of the shoes and the iPads I can't do until tomorrow, but I want to get these measured out. It's hard to tell, but it is done and everything is taped straight across, so that all I have to do is pick this up and then tape it across their doorway. I have a lot of the wrapping left, which is good because like I said, I want to do their shoes. I'm going to do like just wrap it around, but put coins like in them, do their iPads, do the toilet screen. I think instead of doing another like doorway like this, I might just measure out some extra of this and then just like put like an X across the bathroom, because this kind of took a long time. But at least this one's done. I now need to find somewhere to hide it. I think I'm gonna try and hide it in the basement, and hopefully they won't go down there. But at least I could check this off the list, and then I just have to set it all up tonight once they go to bed and once they're like asleep for a little bit. Good morning, guys. I know the lighting is not the best here, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, but it's now the next day and the boys absolutely love the little leprechaun pranks that I played on them. I did take some footage of them finding everything this morning, so I am going to quickly insert that here. Puppies. Whoa. What is that? You trapped you in your room. Whoa. Look, what's over there? What do you do? You taped up the bathroom. What do you think's in the bathroom? Turn the light on. Turn the light on. Yeah, look. Why do you think he left that there? Open the potty.
Chapter 4. You can have them right now.
Open the potty. What's wrong with the potty?
Please, please.
Ew.
You remember last time when he like leaned the trail?
Wait, what's that? What did he do?
No.
He tied up your iPad.
That's great. I think Harry it was now.
You're not gonna rip it open? Maybe he left something inside.
Chocolate coins. Chocolate coins, yay.
Wow.
More chocolate. Chocolate coins in my shoes.
What? Are they stinky?
Empty. Why?
I don't know.
And there's chocolate coins in my shoes.
But it was super cute and I really enjoyed it, so that is a success on my part. But it's now, I think, a little bit after 9 a.m. the next day. They are off and at school. I did just go ahead and drop off some milk for Ben's class, since they're doing like a St. Patrick's Day breakfast. They're having Lucky Charms in class, and so I signed up to bring milk for Ben's class. So I went ahead and just dropped that off, and now Lily and I are outside Stop and Shop, where I have to pick up just a few things that were sold out on my recent pickup order, which I hate that this happens. They substitute things with things that are just not even comparable. And they also gave me like subpar chicken thighs. I need chicken thighs for a recipe for this week, and they gave me the smallest chicken thighs to where it's not going to be enough for us to eat. It wasn't even a pound, which so I'm here to pick up chicken thighs. I need to pick up chocolate milk, since they subbed the regular chocolate milk that I usually get the boys with cookies and cream chocolate milk, which in theory does sound good and it does taste good to me, but it's not what the boys are used to, so they don't like it. They're not going to drink it, so I need to get them chocolate milk. And then we are almost out of paper towels. We have like half a roll left, so I'm going to pick up paper towels as well, and that'll round off our little Stop and Shop trip. And then when Lily goes down for a nap today, I'm tackling that pit of sweaters that is in my room. Are we all done already? That was easy, right? Okay, I have little Miss Lil here. She stole Ben's iPad and is watching one of Ben's shows. She has about 15 minutes until nap time, so I think I'm going to try and bang this out now so that I can take her full nap time to relax. I don't know what is going on. Last night after I ate dinner, I felt so like sickly full and nauseous, and I was kind of terrified that I was coming down with whatever hit the kids last week. If you saw my last video, Ben had gotten sick, and 6 days later Lily had gotten sick, and it's been 6 days since then, and so far nobody else has gotten sick. But I did not feel good after I ate dinner last night. Into this morning, I finally feel better. I ate some toast and I don't feel nauseous anymore, but my body hurts so much, and Lily has an extremely runny, congested nose. So I'm wondering if they didn't have the stomach bug at all and the throwing up was related to something else. We all had COVID one year, and throwing up was a symptom of that strain of COVID. I have no idea what's going on. She has no fever and seems okay, but she just has a super runny nose that started like 4 or 5 days after she got sick. Anyway, I don't feel good. My knees hurt. My knee hurt really bad yesterday, and I thought it was just the weather because it was super cold, windy, and rainy, and sometimes my joints hurt when it is like that outside. However, my knee still hurts. It's both knees now, my hips, my back, my like lower extremities just feel like 1,000 pounds. I'm so tired. So I'm gonna power through and try and go through this sweater, but now I'm going to pull out whatever I don't think can transition into spring or summer to bring to storage, see if there's anything I want to give away, just refold it and make it less chaotic because that corner looks crazy over there. And then I do need to make a storage run, which I probably won't do until the weekend. So that is my little game plan for now. I want to try and get it done so I can get her in for a nap and I can be done. I think that looks much better. I have all of my sweatsuits here and then all of my most worn sweaters here, and then I shoved all like my little boleros in the front. I do need to go get a broom to bring all this dust out and vacuum it up, but I do have a few sweaters that need to be washed and then will be added to this pile, and then everything else that I took out of here I put in a big bag and put it under my bed. And so I think we're in a much better place with this section. I'm glad I got my 3 little spring cleaning chores done. Even though it did take me over a week, I still got them done. So I'm going to, what time is it? 12:07. I'm going to get little Lily ready and in for a nap. Okay, I'm currently editing this video, and if you guys can hear, I did come down with a cold. I actually wound up having to take Lily to the pediatrician yesterday after her nap. Kind of in between her nap, she woke up only an hour into the nap and was screaming her head off. So I knew something was not right, and so I took her to the pediatrician, and what would you know it, she has a double ear infection. I think just from the constant running of her nose and congestion that she developed over the last 2 days, and my body hurt so bad. I knew I was coming down with something. I started having like that tickle in the back of my throat later on in the day, and sure enough, I am so congested and have whatever little virus or cold Lily has come down with. But I am going ahead and editing this video, so I wanted to close it off. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me finish the little task that I set for myself. And if you guys are interested in signing up for BetterHelp and you do want 10% off your first month, don't forget to use this link here. It'll be in the description box, hyperlink, so you can just click and go right through it. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me in the coming weeks. I really wish that the weather had stuck and it was still super warm and spring-like. However, we're back to it being cold. I'm hoping that changes. So let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me. Help me stay inspired and give me some ideas. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.